Alright, so I'm here to replace this mirror. I got beat up and shattered a little while back of 2000 GMC Sonoma. Um, so to get this replaced, you basically have to remove this entire panel. There are a few tutorials how to do this. Not all of them are very descriptive. I'm gonna try to do what I can to try to patch some of that up. So, what you basically need is a 7 millimeter drive wrench, a 10 millimeter for the bolts that are in here, as well as a Phillips screwdriver for that one little screw that's there. And so what you do is you take the 7 millimeter bolts, and they are in those. They are underneath there. So you take care of that one, and there's another one there. You remove those two, and you remove this Phillips. Once you do that, there are several clips that go around the one that attach this uh, to the door frame. But before you do that, you have to remove this thing. And to remove that, you have to get the official tool to take this thing off. Or what you do is that you sneak in a couple screwdrivers or two into this area, and there's gonna be like a washer looking device right here. What you do is you sneak it in there, and you're looking for is this little pin. It's just right about. Let's see if I can catch it on camera. It's like right about here. So there's like a little pin. The wrong way. It's somewhere on this. It's somewhere on this general area. It's kind of hard to see. When you see it, you'll know it. Yeah, see that little silver thing right there? That's a little pin that wraps around this little area. What you want to do is you want to push that thing out. So one way you go about doing it is turning it like this, getting a flathead, and then pushing that forward. I have also seen other examples of people doing it through paper clips to go around that thing and pull it out. But you can also do this other method too. No, either way, you're just getting that pin out. Once you get that pin out, 'cause that's what secures this handle to the what do you call it? To the I guess the axle of this whole mechanism that moves like the one up and down. But this is for a manual door though. Just to be clear, the automatic windows, the ones that are controlled with the motor, those are a whole different mechanism. But once you do all that, you get the thing off. I'm going to then remove all this and then move on to the next stage of getting this thing off. After that. Alright, so what I ended up using was basically a flathead like this, and something like this right here to kind of like push it through. Just push it high enough to where I'd be able to get the screwdriver underneath there and to pull it out. And this is a fairly thick one. I mean, there's a thinner one. Was there? Because like this one was just too thin. This one was just the right amount to pop this pin out. This is the thing that's holding it in place. So once I have that out, then it just comes right off. And so, yeah, so as you can see, the little pin thing it slides right in here. And whenever I reattach this thing, you'll see how easy it is to reattach this thing. You just pop this thing in, pop it back in place, and you're good to go. But yeah, you see the little cotter pin thing slides right in there, and it keeps it in place. But all right, now off to the next steps. All right, here's the door panel removed. See all the pins, all the clips clip on here. See, it looks to be like there's 8 of them, and they kind of go around the whole door frame. There's also this little clip thing goes it latches onto like here. So don't try to pull up top. What you want to do is you want to attack the bottom and the edge, get all that popped out, and then um, remove it in this motion to both get it off of this thing as well as clear all that. And obviously you'll want to get this thing out of the way after you've unscrewed that little screw there. you want to get this thing out of the way. That way you have a lot more room to work with. Then you have all that room to get this door handle out of the way. Next, now we just need to remove these three things, and then we are able to get into the screws. Into the screws that hold attach this thing to the door itself. These are relatively simple things. You just pop off. You just peel off like so. You can pop back in whenever you want. And in there are 10 millimeter nuts that you want to screw out. You would probably want something like an extension. Probably not to this extreme, but you're gonna need some kind of extension with a deep socket. I would recommend that because since they're nuts, the bolts kind of go about this far in or so. So a shallow socket is not going to cut it. So a deep socket is going to be your best bet to getting that removed. So let's get that mirror removed. Alright, and there we are. So it was a relatively simple process. Just undid the nuts there. And then on the last one, I held it and then I was able to get it removed. And this is the one that's going in. As you can see here, is through here. I took this off of an S10. I looked for the specific style of mirror because I've seen two of them. There's this one. There's one right here with a bigger cover, and then there are ones that are like a little bit more smaller profile. I guess it depends on the trim that you get for the vehicle. But since my particular trim has this kind of style, I was able to get it off. I just went to just a local junkyard and just took it off of a S10 and put it on here because they're perfectly compatible with one another. S10s and Sonomas. Alright, now let's get it back on. So I guess as a quick tip and all that, well, one thing I learned is I just take the extension with this on here, put the nut, which looks like this, straight on there, and line it up with the because like this is more closer. These are a little more harder to get into. Instead of having to have it drop all the way down, you can kind of make it off a little more easier. And also instead of having to try to make sure this thing has enough resistance for you to turn your socket, you could just take this thing and just screw it in as is. Now it's a very smooth, easy process of doing that instead of having to fight and trying to make it more difficult than it has to be to get it down there, because it can definitely be a pain trying to manage like 3 different things at once. But that's one little way to do this. It makes the job a lot more easier. Alright, now it's time to get things put back together. So what you do, our next step is just basically getting some of these and just popping them back in place. Do it for these 3, and next we're going to try to reattach the actual the door panel to all this, and we'll see how smooth that goes. Alright, so pretty straightforward. So one thing that helped me out was I was able to temporarily use the wrench looking thing here to lower this window down, to then allow this little the hook part of this door panel to pop in first. Once I got that popped in first, I was able to tap all the clips in. And then after that, I just went around and tapped it all in, and now it seats perfectly fine in there. Now it's just reattaching this and reattaching that, and putting the bolts back in, and job all done. Alright, so now it's just putting this handle on there now. So here's the clip. What you do is you just put it in those slots like so. So I'm going to assemble it and then resume. And it's going to look something like this. So this is kind of how it fits. So from there, all you got to do is just pop back in place. Like so. Do a little bit of a left tap. And you should be good to go. Yeah, that's about it. So yeah, completed, brand new mirror installed, and we're good to go from here.